Hello. It's good to see you. Today we're going to be taking a look at the dresses and the items that my grandmother made for me many years ago for my Barbie dolls. Now, I mentioned this in the video I did last night with the scrapbook paper, and several people said they would like to see what my grandmother made, so I got everything out that I have. Unfortunately, some of the stuff I don't have anymore. Okay, so some of my Barbie stuff was in I have this big old suitcase, and it was in there, and some of it was in a separate box, and my mom got rid of the stuff in the box. She gave it to my cousin, and I never saw it again, but I have most of it, so I'm going to show you what I have. But before I do, I was looking through the box and I found some other stuff in there. I was looking through the old suitcase, and I just wanted to show you a few of the other things that were in there. And I don't have enough Barbie dolls to model all of the dresses, but I went ahead and put the dresses on the dolls that I do have. But first, let me show you some other stuff I found in there. Okay, these dolls are not really good to put. It's hard to get them to wear a dress because you have, this is like rubber. Now, these are not dolls that I had as a child. This one's not. I have another one I'll show you in a minute. But these came out, I want to say, in the mid-2000s. And when I was a kid, I wanted a mermaid Barbie so bad, but they didn't make mermaid Barbies back when I was a kid, or if they did, I never heard of one or saw one. So what I would do, I would get in the bathtub with my Barbies, and I'd just take a washcloth and wrap it around this way and make a tail out of the washcloth. I would have loved this doll as a child. So when they came out with these, I had to have one. So I actually went and bought one for myself. It was like a little gift to myself. She has a little thing on the back. You do it like this, and it makes her arms just kind of shimmy back and forth. And I just put her hair in a braid. She has kind of neon orange hair and a little frilly top. And right here, if you squeeze it, it makes her tail do like that. You just squeeze it on the sides there, and it makes her tail do that. It has a rubbery feel to it, and it's a little sparkly. You can see that it has some glitter, some blue glitter on there. So this is one of them here. I think this is the one I bought, and I have a second one. Now this one has pink hair, pretty pink, and the tail, see, this tail is more of a blue, and then this one is kind of a teal. One of these I found at Goodwill. I think this is the one I found at Goodwill, and I think this is the one I bought. Oh my goodness, if these had existed when I was a kid, I would have given my right arm for one of these, because it's just, I wanted something like this so bad. And I really love the fact that they have long hair. I was obsessed with Barbies that had long hair when I was a kid. I wanted long hair so bad, but I couldn't have it for the longest time. I dealt with a great deal of anxiety as a child. I still struggle with it quite a bit. And one way that I dealt with my anxiety was by twirling my hair on my fingers and chewing on it. It was just, I think I was just trying to alleviate anxiety. But because I kept messing with it, my mom kept cutting it short. So I didn't actually get to have long hair until I was in middle school. No, actually, you know what? I did have long hair. Well, it was a little long. It was like shoulder length when I was in 5th grade. Yeah, and then I can't remember what it looked like in 6th grade. Anyway, I loved long hair, and I was always looking for Barbies that had long hair, as long as possible. But yeah, I really wish these had existed when I was a kid. I would have loved these. Look at their tails. So you can make them sit. You can actually you can pose them a little bit She's been drinking a little bit. They're just happy to be out of that suitcase. Yay! Oh, come on, sit up. Well, she'll kind of sit up. Okay, I don't have this. My grandmother didn't make anything on here, so but I just wanted to show you my mermaids. And then when I was a kid, one of my favorite shows was the A-Team. I don't know, any Generation X people probably remembered the A-Team. And Mr. T was my favorite. I loved Mr. T. I always loved to watch the A-Team because I thought Mr. T was awesome. So I even have a Mr. T doll. And it has his initials here, TCB. And Mr. T, actually I don't think TCB is his initials. His name was B.A. Baracus, I believe. And I don't know what happened to his jewelry. He used to have, he wore the necklaces. I don't know where his necklaces went, but they used to be attached. Right back here on this little piece had the necklaces attached to it, so they wouldn't come off. But somewhere along the way they got lost. But he still has on this. He came with the denim overalls, and then he has. This is just a plastic piece. You have the feet here with the socks, and then these are like Converse, like Chuck Taylors that he wore. And he still has some of his bracelets here. But Mr. T has been hanging out and living with my Barbies in the suitcase now for, oh my goodness, more years than I care to remember, like 35 years. And he still has his earrings. They do come out. I don't want to pull on them because I don't know how fragile they are, but you can see he still has his earrings here. Come on, like that. And his mohawk. Oh, that show was awesome. If you've never watched it, it was so wholesome and awesome. So, oh, he still has his bandana too. He has a red, white, and black bandana back here in his pocket. And he has you can see some of his rings too. It's just part of his hand there and over here. And originally, he was holding something. You can see where he could, and I don't remember what he held. But there was something that he held in his hands. But over the years, I've lost track of a lot of the stuff that came with him. But yeah, he was awesome. I had, I don't quite know what happened, but in the suitcase, I know for a fact there used to be 2 Ken dolls and one G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe's boots are still in there. But G.I. Joe is gone, and both Kens are gone. And B.A.'s not talking. Mr. T is not saying what happened. Like, where'd they go? Did you run them off? Were they causing trouble? Were they causing trouble? I don't know. It's weird because I know they were in there, and now they're not. I don't know where they went. But Mr. T is still there. So whatever happened to them, apparently Mr. T was able to fight them off. I don't know. It's crazy. It's weird how G.I. Joe's boots are still there, but he's not. He ran off without his boots. So he's somewhere barefooted. I don't know. But yeah, so here's Mr. T. He's pretty tall. He's tall, and he does stand up. His knees do bend like this. You can pose him. You can sit. You can see they bend here like this. So you can sit him down. He doesn't sit up very well though. He's probably stiff. He's been laying in that suitcase for 35 years. Because let's see, I'm 46 and I haven't done anything with these Barbies since I was probably 11, I would say. 11 or 12. So yeah, it's been a while. He's holding up quite well. So that's Mr. T. And then I don't know what the story is behind this. I found a head. I don't know whose head this is. Okay, now there was this one Barbie, and it might have been this one, I don't remember. For some reason, one day, my brother took one of my Barbie's heads off, and put it in the dryer and left it running for about an hour. And when we took her out, her hair was completely fried. It was just frizzled, like it was burned, which I guess basically it was. I don't think it was this one. I think it was a different Barbie. I was really mad about it because I don't know why he did it. He's a wonderful big brother, but every now and then he would just do random weird things. Like throw my Barbie's head in the dryer for an hour. Why would you do that? I don't know. I found this little brush in there too. One of these little plastic doll brushes. No, I don't think it was this one, which makes the mystery even more intriguing. Like, where's her body? Why is just her head in there? I think there must have been an incident in the suitcase involving the two Ken dolls and G.I. Joe. And wherever her body is, I don't know. I bet it was interesting, whatever it was. Everybody in the suitcase is apparently sworn to secrecy. But anyway, here's somebody's head, and she can't model anything because my grandmother didn't make any hats for the Barbies. I have no idea where the body is for this head. And here I have a little rubber dog. I don't need a brush for the rubber dog. This little rubber dog, I bought this somewhere. I don't remember where. It's solid rubber. See his little face? Now, he used to have more paint on him. It's kind of worn away over the years. You can see there's still a little bit on there. I didn't have any dogs for my Barbies, and I wanted them to have a dog. And I think I found this one in a toy store somewhere. And I used to love little rubber animals like this. He's pretty heavy. So I bought this so my Barbies would have a dog. I thought he was kind of cool. What does it say on the bottom? It says something. Something Toy Corporation, Hong Kong. Copyright 1974, Hong Kong. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. But this poor little dog has been all alone in the suitcase. Well, he hasn't been totally alone. He actually has a friend. Let me show you. That's a little disturbing, but don't be scared. It's not a dust mop. It's actually what is this, an Afghan? Is it called an Afghan? I don't remember. Now, this was a legitimate Barbie dog. I wanted this for Christmas one year. Its head turns. I wanted this dog so bad. This was the main thing I wanted for Christmas. I think I was 8 or 9 years old. I wanted this dog so bad. You know, I still remember I think they had a commercial for it on TV or something. The Barbie dog. And I wanted it oh so bad. It was the main thing I asked for. It has little plastic feet. And then this is just a plush covering over the dog. It has little gray ears. Here's the heartbreaking part. Okay, so I did get this for Christmas. I was so happy. Unfortunately, the morning I got it, I was, playing with it. I didn't do anything rough with it or anything. I was just kind of bending its legs like this and posing it a little bit, like trying to make him sit. And look what happened. His leg broke off. It just popped right off like it broke. There's a little plastic piece right here, and it broke. And we were not able to fix it. My mom tried to fix it, but it wouldn't stay. And I was heartbroken. I cried. I still remember breaking down in tears. I was so sad because I wanted this dog so bad. I still played with him, but he won't stand up because he doesn't have that leg. I was so sad. I had been so looking forward to maybe getting the dog for Christmas. And then it broke within an hour of opening it on Christmas morning. Yeah, I was really bummed out. I never got another one. This was the only one I ever got. He's dirty. He needs a bath. But he's been hanging out in that suitcase too. So the other dog isn't totally alone. He has a friend. He looks very unhappy. Look, this face is rubber. This is the only rubber part. His little feet are plastic, and then you have the body in here, I'm sure, is plastic too. So this is my only actual Barbie dog here. A little fella missing a leg, and his back end pivots, which is kind of cool. You can pose him like, you can't get him, oops. You can kind of turn his back leg like that, but he falls over. No, there we go. They've all been drinking. There. He stands up like, you can just sit him down like that. So, yeah, there's my Barbie dog. Okay. Now we're going to get into looking at the dresses. The first one I have to show you, that this is a vintage Barbie. Well, it was vintage even when I was a kid. The only problem is if you touch her arm, it falls off. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it's a perpetual problem with her. I think this is Midge. I could be wrong, but this is a doll from back in the 60s that my grandmother gave me. She had some vintage Barbies. I don't know what happened to it, but she actually had one of the very first Barbies, brand new, still in the box. And I don't know who got it when she passed away, but yeah, it had never been removed from the box. And she kept it in this china cabinet when I was a kid, and I wanted that doll so bad. But she would let me look at it, but could not take it out of the box. It was brand new, one of the very first Barbies. It was the first, I mean, not like the first one ever made, but it was one of the first ever made. You know what I mean? Like when they came out with the first doll, she bought one and saved it and did not take it out of the box. Okay, sorry. Now, what she would do, my grandmother would take scraps of fabric that she had used for other things, and she would save it and make Barbie clothes. Not just for me, she made some for my cousins too. Oh, okay, Midge, we're just gonna, you can lend us a hand later. We'll just leave it over there. She's very twisty. She just kind of goes, you can twist her all the way around to where she can look at her own butt if she wants to. Sorry, I'm going to be nice and easy with her. Now, originally, okay, so this is nylon. This is just like black nylon, and you see we have these layers of lace. Now, originally, this lace was black, but over time, it's turned this really pretty kind of a burgundy color, and there's a layer of it up here, too. And with her arm out of the way, you can see a little better. Now, to hold it together in the back, we have little snaps back here. They are black, so they blend in with the fabric. But there are little delicate snaps here, here, and that's it. Just these two. One up here and one there. And that's enough to hold it on. And that's not all. To go with it, we have matching pantaloons. Now, I did notice that the elastic in the pantaloons has kind of given way. I mean, it's very old, and you know, after a while, the elastic deteriorates. So they don't really stay up too well. But here you can see, now the pantaloons for all this time have been covered. And the lace on the pantaloons did not fade, and you can see it's still black. It maintained its black color here, so it didn't fade into that burgundy. But so these are separate. They're not part of the dress. It's a separate piece. Little matching pantaloons. They come down to the knees. See? Very cute. Now, not every dress has pantaloons. Actually, most of them don't. But she made some little matching pantaloons for this dress. I'll pull your skirt down, honey. Sorry. It's very pretty, though. Look at that. You know, I had other Barbie clothes. You know, I played with Barbies probably from the age of 8 to about 10 or so. or maybe 11, whenever it stopped being cool. You know, when your friends are like, are you seriously playing with those? And then, you know, you get embarrassed and you put them away. I still like to brush their hair. I spent a little time this evening playing with them a little bit, but during that time, my grandmother would make things like this, and most of the other Barbie clothes that I had that were store-bought, you know, they were okay, but first of all, they didn't hold up as well as the stuff my grandmother made. It fell apart. But they didn't mean as much to me as these things that my grandmother made, because I know it's difficult to make little stuff like this. And it meant a lot to me that she took the time to do this for me. I thought it was really cool. It's very special. And I made sure to hang on to it. I still have most of it. The stuff I don't have is because it was in that separate box, like I mentioned. I mentioned that my mom gave it to my cousin. I don't think there was much in there, though. I think most of the stuff my grandmother made was in the suitcase. So I still have it. I like how it kind of flares out. See? It's so pretty. And I really like the fact that the lace kind of changed color. It's that burgundy. I think it looks really pretty. But it wasn't like that originally. Alright, Midge, we're going to stick your arm back on. Yeah, there's really no good way to fix it. I mean, I could super glue it on there, but I don't know. I'm not going to do it. I have her hair done up with a little flower, a little pink flower there. Yeah, so that's, this doll I think was from the mid to late 60s, but it was one my grandmother gave me. My grandmother liked to collect dolls of all different types. I've always found baby dolls to be kind of creepy. I've never really liked baby dolls, but she did have some Barbies that she let me have, so that was really cool. So this is one of them. It twists very easily. So that's the first dress. Oh, and here's one thing that she did make. She made like a bedspread. This is knitted, obviously. I had my dad, when I was 8, made the best Christmas present ever. I wanted one of the Barbie townhouses, but my parents couldn't afford it. I think they were $90. You could get the Barbie dream house. I still remember that was $110 when I was 8. And I knew the Barbie dream house was out of the question, but maybe they could get me the townhouse. They couldn't afford it. So my dad made a Barbie townhouse for me, and it was really nice. He put so much work into it. It was even cooler than the real one. It had 3 floors and an elevator that it was all made out of wood, like pieces of plywood that he had. And you could pull the elevator up with a string to each floor. And he even put linoleum. He had some scraps of linoleum and cut it to fit the floors in there. And it even had attached, separate, kind of off to the side, a little horse stable. He decided to add a little stable for my Barbie horses. And so I tell you, that was the best Christmas present I think I've ever gotten in my life. It was so, I just cannot tell you how much that meant to me. And he painted it pink and gold for me. It was beautiful. There's no telling how much time he spent building that. And it was really cool. It was kind of like if you saw the movie A Christmas Story, when he gets the BB gun, you know, he opens all the presents. And his dad said, you know, did you like everything? Yeah, it's okay. And then he said, oh, what's that? That looks like there's something behind the TV over there. Why don't you go see what that is? And it's the Red Ryder BB gun he wanted. That's kind of what happened with the townhouse, where I opened all my presents. And my dad asked me, you know, did you like everything? I said, yeah, it was okay. And he said, well, why don't you go feed the dogs? You know, we had these dogs outside. He said, why don't you go feed the dogs? So, no, it wasn't the dogs. I think he told me to go get the paper. So he wanted me to open the front door. So I went to open the front door, and it was right there. Like he had put it right on the stoop right in front of the door, so that when I opened the front door, it was right there. I can still remember. Oh my gosh, I was so shocked to see that. It was the best thing. Oh my gosh. I was just jumping up and down. Yeah, oh my gosh, I was screaming. I was so excited. Oh, and I played with that thing all day. Somewhere I have a picture of me playing with it that morning, and I played with it on into the night, and I fell asleep like right in front of it. It was the best present I've ever gotten in my whole life, before then or since. It's amazing. But anyway, sorry, a little ramble there, but I had a bed. I had a Barbie bed, and my grandmother made this quilt to put on my Barbie bed. She made it long enough to fit the bed and hang over a little bit. So I thought that was really cute. She knitted this for me. A little Barbie quilt. Okay. Now, I ran out of models, so Skipper had to be a model. This dress is too big for Skipper. Now, this is just a simple little cotton dress. It has this top here is this white embroidered fabric, and then we have a light pink skirt. And again, she would make these just out of scrap material and fabric that she had lying around, so it was just whatever she had available. And again, on the back we have these two little snaps. There's one here and here, so it's just a simple little strapless, sleeveless cotton dress that I put on Skipper. Skipper is Barbie's little sister, and she looks really unhappy. It's probably because she doesn't like the dress, because she needs a lot of Kleenex to stuff it out. Yeah, she doesn't have enough to hold it up, but a couple of boxes of Kleenex would take care of that. But yeah, there's one dress. And of course, on a regular size Barbie, it would not come down quite so far. It would be like a knee-length dress. So that's one. Okay, I'm getting stuff everywhere. Now here is another of the vintage Barbies, and I ended up with two of these dresses, but I didn't get them at the same time. I don't think she realized she made two of these. This one also has the matching pantaloons, but they got left out. They were not on the Barbie, so they ended up fading that same burgundy color. It's very interesting. I think this is also Midge. This is another one of the vintage dolls that my grandmother gave me. A little haircut there. So yeah, this one it's the same basic dress, but I got it on a different occasion. Yeah, I don't think she realized she had already made one of these for me. But you know, like I said, she wasn't just making them for me, so she probably thought that she had made it for somebody else. And so I didn't care. I thought it was awesome. So I ended up with two of these black nylon dresses. And it has the lace around the top too. So I ended up with two of these. And the pantaloons. The elastic on these is also kind of stretched out, so it doesn't really stay up too well. But hey, at least her arm stays on. Hey, see it won't. Now her arms don't bend. You know, some Barbies, and I'll show you one in a minute, their arms were like permanently bent this way, and some of them have a hinge here where you can bend it, but not this one. Now this one is also from the late 60s. Her eyes are kind of weird. She has kind of weird, she kind of has crazy eyes a little bit. No offense, but like she has I think it's like a lazy eye on the right side. A little lazy. I never noticed that until just now, but she's got a bit of a lazy eye. Interesting. But yeah, she has the little feet. I have lost all of their shoes. I don't know what happened to all the Barbie shoes. They probably got sucked up into the vacuum cleaner over time, and when I was a kid. It's impossible. If you've ever had Barbies in your house, it's impossible to keep up with those little shoes. I don't have a single shoe in that suitcase. But yeah, here's the duplicate dress. And here's the wedding dress. This one I didn't even have to put on. This was already on her. This is a really cool one. Look at this. Now we have more than one layer. You have this layer here. It's a bit picked, but you can see that it has the same fabric on the arms here, and it has lace right up at the neck. You have this ruffly lace right up here, and it goes all the way around to the back. See? Now this one has a snap. There's a little snap right at the back of the neck, and there's one here, and that's the only other one. So you have these two snaps in the back, but they're covered up. You don't see them. The fabric covers the snaps so they don't show. It's very soft and silky. Oh, it feels so nice. And under here we have this layer. Now this feels like a cotton blend fabric, and there's no telling what this was, what this came from, but she has a layer of lace sewn onto the bottom of this underside right here, so that when you have this down over it, it kind of acts as a crinoline to kind of help the dress stand out a little bit better. I don't have a veil or anything. I don't think she made a veil to go with it. I do remember using like a Kleenex or something. I would take a tissue and fashion it so it would kind of like take a piece of ribbon or something and put it on the head, and then put a piece of ribbon around it to hold it down like a veil. I remember doing that. Yeah, it didn't come with the veil. Now let's see. All right. Now underneath this, okay, so you actually do have a built-in crinoline under here. You have this mesh layer, and that also has some lace to it. So that a crinoline helps when you're wearing a formal gown. It makes it kind of fill out. It makes it more full and kind of stick out a little bit. There are different types of crinolines that you can get. This is just a layer of tulle under here with lace sewn onto it. So that, yeah, that's a separate piece sewn onto this part. But it's all together. Nope, I'm wrong. Hold on. No, this is okay, so the crinoline is actually a separate piece, and there's a little snap to hold it together. So it's not part of the wedding dress itself. I thought it was, but I just looked, and it's separate. This wedding dress was one of my favorite things. It looks like something from Little House on the Prairie or something. It's like a Victorian dress, kind of. And it has these puffy sleeves here. Yeah, I think the wedding dress was my favorite thing that she made for me. I like all of it. And there's another dress that I really like. It's not on a doll, but I'm going to show it to you. I ran out of dolls. I would have put it on the Mermaid, but it's hard with that tail. So, I'm okay. You know what? There's actually a third snap. There's another snap here. There's one here, and then there is another one right there. I didn't see that. So yeah, I think this was my favorite dress. This, I imagine, took quite a bit of work. Making a dress this small, it's just a lot of detail. You really have to pay attention. It's very specific. You have to get the measurements of the doll, and she really enjoyed making doll clothes, and she was really good at it. It's very cool. So this was the wedding dress. It was the only wedding dress she made for me. But I'm really happy that I have it. I think it's beautiful. Okay, now this is I believe this is a Rapunzel doll. This is another one that came out after I was grown. And again, I've always been fascinated with dolls with long hair, Barbies. So I bought it. I don't care. Now this is just a simple little green dress. It's made of this polyester fabric. And you can see it's kind of fitted at the waist. Now this one is held together with little hooks. Little hook and eye closures there. There's one there and there. And you can just kind of fold it over like that. It's a very simple little green dress. There's a little spot on it there. I remember this fabric because this is the kind of fabric she used to like to make pants out of for herself. She normally just wore dresses, but sometimes she would wear pants. But she made probably 90% of the clothes that she had, and she liked to use this kind of fabric to make pants. I think it's polyester. I'm not really sure, but you can see where it's kind of sewn under there. So you have the little hem on the bottom. So that's just a very simple little green strapless dress that she made. Now this one is fun. Look at this one. This is a little short dress, and it only has one strap. It goes over this shoulder. This is one of the Barbies I had as a kid. I don't remember what kind of Barbie it was, but see how the arms are bent? Now they are not hinged. Let's see. She can like sort of pose. She can hit herself in the head if she wants to. She can't really do much else with it, but she can turn her head from side to side. Woo! Sorry. Okay. So this is a little nylon dress, and it has this pretty little bit of lace on the bottom, this white lace, just a little bit. And it also has the lace up here and on both sides of the strap that goes over the shoulder. And this dress also has hook closures. No, okay. There's a snap at the top, and then right here is a hook, little hook and a closure. And that's it. Pretty blue. Look at that. Matches my nails. Now we have a built-in crinoline under here. Made of, this looks like fabric she might have made a pillow, no, not a pillowcase, maybe some curtains out of or something. There's no telling. She made all kinds of stuff. And there's some lace on the little built-in crinoline too. And that helps to make the skirt kind of not go straight down, but it makes it kind of stick out like that. That's what the crinoline is for. Of course, with this nylon fabric, it kind of sticks out anyway. Just the nature of the fabric. But yeah, there's a little cute little dress there. And she really took her time and did a really good job on the stitching and everything, just all the little details on these items, and they really hold up. They've held up so well over time because I played with them a lot. Now I took care of them. I was very careful with them because I understood how special they were, but they're in just as good a shape now as they were when I was a kid, except the elastic in the pantaloons. But you know, elastic breaks down over time, so that's totally to be expected. But I really appreciate the care and the time that went into making these. You know, she didn't have a lot of money, and she had lots of grandchildren, so she couldn't afford to go out and buy us all stuff. So, you know, she would try to make us all something special, just depending on what we liked. Or, you know, she would try to do a little something that she knew we would like. So she could take her scraps, and with some spare time, she could make pretty stuff like this. Now look at this hair. Oh, I think this is one of my favorite Barbies. Look at that. Ooh, that hair. I was so fixated on Barbies with long hair. I wanted long hair so bad. I finally got to have long hair when I was in college. I grew it out all the way down almost to my butt when I was in college. I have a few pictures of it. When I was about 21, I had hair down to about there. But it's a lot of trouble, and it's a pain after a while, so over time I gradually cut it shorter. Okay. So now this Barbie is fancy. She has earrings and a necklace. And this little dress is cute. I like this one. Now this is the kind of fabric that my grandmother liked the best. It has a little floral pattern on it. she used so much fabric like this to make stuff for herself. It has little purple flowers on it. And then it has lace up at the neck and has little puffy sleeves, And there's lace down here too. Very cute, and it's kind of fitted at the waist. There's no crinoline or anything. This would just be a simple little dress, like a spring dress. Let's look at the back. Now on the back, we have a snap up at the back of the neck, and a snap in the middle of the back, and another snap at the lower back. It's so pretty. It's very soft. This is a nice cotton fabric. I think it's a cotton blend, but I could be wrong. It doesn't feel like pure cotton. It feels like there's a little bit of polyester in there. Plus, it's not very wrinkled, so I'm thinking it's not 100% cotton. But yeah, this I really love this hair. Oh my gosh! But this was another one of the dolls I had as a kid, with a little simple purple floral pattern dress. Just a little short sleeve dress. Very simple. Oh, look at this hair. Whew. This one I think I bought, well, I don't remember when I acquired this doll. Now this one has arms that bend. This may not be one from when I was a kid. This may be one I acquired later. Like I said, you know, when I saw longer haired Barbies later, sometimes I would buy them, or the Mermaid Barbies. Now this dress is really pretty. Look at this. It's pink, obviously, and it has a sash on it that is attached. Is it attached? I don't think it's no, it is. No, it's not. It's not actually attached. I thought it was, but it's not. It's really pretty. Right here on the bodice, you have this matching lace, and then it goes across the top there. And you have this big layer of lace. Look at that. Sewn on up here. And it goes all the way around. Now we have hook and eye closure right there. One, and a snap up at the top. And she has flat feet. Most of them had the little tiptoe feet. This one has little flat feet. And her legs bend. Check it out. Woo! Honey, you're not wearing panties. I can't show them everything. Okay, now let's see. So you have this layer of lace. Hey! Okay. And then there's another layer. Now this is a built-in crinoline down here with lace, and then attached to that is this layer of white nylon with pink lace under it. And there is no crinoline, and I'm trying to figure out what in the world. Oh, okay, no, that's it. There are no pantaloons to match this dress, but look how pretty. Look how it just kind of sticks out like that. It's so beautiful. She was so good at what she did. I love this dress. It's so pretty. And I don't have anybody to give this stuff to. But that's why I'm hanging on to it. Maybe I'll have a grandchild one day that will want this stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But it means a lot to me. So, you know, I love it. So even if I never have anybody to give it to, I love it. But yeah, it's such a pretty soft pink. It's kind of a dusty rose color. So delicate, so pretty. But it's held up really well. And yeah, these little items are just really, really special to me. It's pretty. You know, if I had a dress like that, I'd wear it. I'd totally wear a dress like that. Okay, now these items I do not have a model for. I could change some of their clothes, but I'm lazy and I probably won't. Okay, here's another dress. Now this is a pink one. Kind of similar to the one we just looked at. But up here we have this light pink nylon fabric. Here's the bodice up here, and again it has lace across the top. And you have that wide pink lace attached to this layer of nylon. It looks white, but it's a very, very light pink. Turn it over to the back, and that's where you have the seam in the back. And we have a snap at the top and another snap just below that, and it's covered so when the dress is being worn you can't see the snaps. And we have a layer, so that's the nylon layer here. Under that we have a little crinoline. Now this feels like nightgown material. This is polyester. This feels like something she would make a nightgown out of, and this also has a layer of lace on the bottom. And this was just extra fabric from who knows what. There's no telling what this was from. It could have been from some lace curtains, or like this part, I know this had to be a nightgown. This is like nightgown material. And look at the little matching pantaloons. The elastic in these is actually good. This is also made out of that nightgown material. And the elastic is great. It's not shot like the other pantaloons. These are cute though. Look at these little pants. She made these, put the little lace on them. That is too adorable. Look at that. So they match the dress. That is adorable. So much detail. Can you imagine? I wouldn't even know where to start to make something like that. I would have no idea what to do. Okay, and here I have some items that she knitted. The first thing I have is a little sweater. Look at this tiny sweater. She knitted this, and it's a nice soft yellow color. See? It's very soft. This is an acrylic yarn. I don't know what that is. Oh, something on it there. It doesn't have any snaps or fasteners or anything. It would just be a little pullover sweater type of thing that you just pull on, and yeah, a little soft. Oh, it's very soft. A little soft sweater. She also knitted this. Look at this. It's a little bit darker yellow. It's a little tank top, and the straps have snaps on the back. It's just a little tank top. That's cute. I don't know why she made this, but I have these little separates, and I don't have anything to go with them. I think these two things and the blanket were the only things that she knitted. Yeah, I'm missing a dress. I just realized that. Let me see if I can find it. There's one I didn't show you. Oh yeah, I found it. Okay, I got it. So yeah, these were knitted, and look at this blouse. It's a puffy shirt. Now this is made with that I don't know what you call that fabric. It has little eyelets on it, and it has lace down the front, and here's the back, and there's a snap at the back of the neck and one down here at the bottom. It's a little, kind of looks like a Victorian style blouse. See? It's slightly fitted at the waist. There's no elastic in there. Little sleeves kind of puff out like this. It's too cute. Look at that little neck. It's even finished around the neck. Now my grandmother was not the huggy, kissy, touchy-feely, cookies in the oven kind of grandma. She just wasn't that way. That's just the way she was. She was not very touchy-feely and huggy, but she showed that she loved you by doing things like this. She would make things for you. Yeah, that was just her way. And here is a dress, and unfortunately, I don't know what happened to it. It's got some stains on it, and I don't know what they are, Now this is another piece of fabric that she would have made maybe a jacket, like a blazer out of. Maybe a skirt, but it's another little sleeveless dress. And it has these little hook and eye closures on the back. It's just a simple little dress, kind of fitted a little bit at the waist. There's the top there. It's just a little, she probably just found this little piece of cloth and put it with her scraps, and when she was making Barbie clothes, she figured she could make a little dress with it. Now here's one. I think my mother made this. I don't know that my grandmother did this. It was one of my old socks. That's why I think it was my mom. And my mom didn't sew like my grandmother did. My mom could sew, but she didn't make little clothes like that. This was one of my socks when I was a kid. And I either outgrew it or maybe it had a hole in it or something. So, here's just another little piece of it that has been sewn onto it. It's just been cut down here. There's the end. This was the top of the sock. It was like a knee-high sock maybe. And here's just a little loop from it. And it's just been sewn here. And here is a little snap that's been attached. So it would go over the shoulder, like over one shoulder, or you could do it like a halter top. Possibly, but maybe it was made to be a halter top. But it's a little makeshift Barbie dress out of one of my old socks. Yeah, I think my mom did that. And here's the last dress. This one is really cool. I should have put this one on one of the Barbies. Now look how much this one puffs out. My goodness. Now part of it is the fabric, but I have to show you. Look at all these layers of lace that have been sewn on here. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of lace on this outer part of the dress. And the lace is really pretty. It has little pastel colors in it. It's kind of hard to see, but they're pink and blue and green and yellow. And it just alternates. It's just all these little colors. And up here at the top, we have the same lace across the top here. It's just another sleeveless dress. She made a lot of these sleeveless dresses, I think, because they're easier. And she made lots of these for their grandkids, or like, little kids in her church that she knew, she would make some for them and all kinds of stuff. And some of the boys, if they had G.I. Joe dolls, she would make things for them too. She would make pants and jackets and things for their G.I. Joe to wear. I don't know if they ever used them, but yeah, she didn't want them to feel left out. So this dress is really cool. So you have this layer here. It's a white cotton blend. Under here you have the built-in crinoline, which is really amazing. Now this is one layer of white nylon here with 1, 2, 3 layers of lace attached to that nylon. Under that, there is another layer of lace that is sewn on the underside of that nylon to make it stick out even more. I imagine this dress was a pain in the neck to sew. It's look at all the layers. It's like a flower. It's like a little white rose or something. Look at all these layers of lace. My goodness. But now she used a lot of lace. She would make curtains for people. Sometimes she would make bedspreads or pillowcases, dust ruffles. And so she used lace in a lot of different things. And she would have pieces left over, so she just would keep them in a, like a big box or something. And then if she found she had some spare time, she would make little doll clothes with it. She didn't like to waste anything. She grew up in the Depression, and so if you've ever talked to anyone who lived through the Depression, they were very careful not to waste anything because they knew what it was like to not have stuff. It was pretty rough. But yeah, this is a nice one to end on. Look how I bet it'll stand up. It stands up by itself. We don't even need a doll. Look at that. Wow, that's amazing. Isn't that pretty? Hang on a minute, I'm gonna put this on a doll. I want you to see it. Okay. There we go. Now you can see how cool that looks. Move your arms, honey. Do they go out this way? Oh, they do. You can do them like that. See? It's fitted up here at the top and at the waist. You can see. Look at that beautiful skirt. The way it just goes out like that. So there it is. It's really pretty. I love the subtle pastel colors in the lace. And you have so many layers of it. 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down here at the bottom. But yeah, that's it. And that's the last thing I want to show you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed looking at all these things. I've really enjoyed looking at them again. I haven't looked at them in quite a while. So thank you again so much. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again really soon.